And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
I think that number raises a...
Well, the mainstream media is completely melting down. They have been forced to accept a reality that we all knew was going to be the case as early as 2 years ago, when Disney decided to finally go too far and finally get the backlash that we all knew was coming. And new clips of Rachel Zegler are circulating the internet that people are absolutely dunking on, roasting. You absolutely love to see it. And we're just going to do our daily laughing at the Snow White movie. Now, I will say this. I'm still hedging my bets on the Snow White box office. I think the real picture will be painted this weekend. Obviously, opening weekend was very poor, but it's still a Disney movie. It's still Snow White. And parents still want, 2 hours of peace and quiet from their kids every once in a while. So they'll still probably take them to it. I just want to remind everybody that the star of this movie hates you if you voted for Trump, or if you even like Trump. She hates you. So if you give her your money, that's on you. But the media is coming to the realization, and it's amazing. By the way, I've been covering the saga of my coffee company getting screwed over. Last night, we made the decision to reinvest every penny we've ever made in this company, essentially, and move into a 15,000 square foot space with all new machinery, including the ability to make Nespresso pods, things like that. A lot of people that sell you coffee on this website, they have no skin in the game. They're just reselling somebody else's coffee, sticking their label on it. That's not what we do. We are completely bought in, and we need to raise a bunch of cash. So I'm hoping you'll try one of these 3 bundles I put together. Promo code RUMBLE will save you 10% on all of them. These are our 3 most popular flavors. Our Dark Souls bundle is 2 of our ultra dark roasts plus the freeze-dried strawberries. And our Ray of Light is all ultra light roasts. They all ship in April, available in whole bean and ground. If you don't like coffee, we have tea, organic tea, and we have real cacao cocoa. I'm going to leave a link in the description below, or you can just go to coffeebrandcoffee.com/rumble to find all these deals. And I'm really hopeful you'll give us a shot today. And if you don't like it, I'll give you 100% of your money back. I guarantee you're going to love it. Yes, Snow White is bombing at the box office. Snow White did not impress critics with a 44% Rotten Tomatoes, but even with a higher 74% audience score, the movie is, in fact, currently bombing at the box office, at least according to initial figures. And this is written by leftoid Paul Tassi, so this is really sticking in his craw to admit. This is wild. Snow White brought in $87 million its opening weekend globally, with just $43 million domestically. That may not seem much out of context, but compared to the other slew of recent live-action Disney adaptations, that's definitely in, quote, bomb territory, at least for now. Here's a list of the same opening weekend time period domestically. The Lion King, $191 million. Beauty and the Beast, $174 million. Alice in Wonderland, $116 million. Jungle Book, $103 million. Little Mermaid, $95 million. Aladdin, $91 million. Maleficent, $69 million. Cinderella, $67 million. Snow White and the Huntsman did better at $56 million. Dumbo at $46 million. Snow White, just $43 million. On a movie that cost $270 million and will require close to $1 billion to break even after marketing. There are very few ways to spin that. Snow White is close to the worst performing live action Disney adaptation ever. doing not even half or a quarter as well as the higher-ups on the list, and reviewed more poorly than essentially all of them, which is no doubt a contributor here. The single bright spot in the film is said to be Rachel Zegler, of course, in her performance and her singing. But villain Gal Gadot is criticized roundly as overall structure, script, and bad directing of the film and horrifying CGI dwarfs. Again, you can even see the unconventional adaptation, Snow White and the Huntsman, open better than this, which, by the way, that movie sucked. There's one thing to note, however, that could be a glimmer of hope. The lowest film on this list, Mufasa the Lion King, did open very poorly, but over time, despite being an original production, which probably hurt it at the outset, snowballed into eventually making $717 million worldwide, a huge hit. But that feels more like an anomaly rather than something that's going to happen with Snow White. The other thing to understand with this is that even if it made $700 million, it's still going to lose money. $270 million cost, double it to include marketing, that's $540 million. Understand that Disney keeps 50% of ticket sales, which means it would have to make over $1 billion to break even. So even at $700 million, this movie's going to lose $300 million. I mean, there is just no spinning it. The media knows it. The lesson Snow White should teach Disney. The studio's latest live-action remake shows hints of courage, but only hints. So it didn't go far enough. It wasn't woke enough, apparently. I mean, I guess. Hollywood Reporter. Box office. How Snow White landed in potential bomb territory. Disney's tentpole opened to near disastrous numbers considering its mega budget. Is there still a chance for a fairy tale ending? Well, yeah, I mean, I think there's always a chance. Just like Lloyd Christmas, there's always a chance. The mood was grim Sunday on the Disney lot as Snow White opened way behind expectations to an estimated $43 million domestically. Globally, the live-action remake of the iconic 1937 film is expected to clear $100 million, but it came in at $87.3 million. Now, I mean, I would argue that's pretty close. That's 84% of what you thought. I would say if anything's going to save it, it's probably going to be the long tail and the global market. If it, but I just don't see it making a bill. It's not making $1 billion at this level. Those hauls wouldn't normally spell disaster for a female targeted pick. Snow White has found itself in potential bomb territory because of its hefty production budget of $270 million before another $100 million or so in marketing costs. Okay, well, the rule of thumb is to double it. Let's say the $100 million that Hollywood Reporter says is the true marketing budget. That puts us at $370 million in total cost, or 740. Am I doing that right? $740 million to break even. So it needs to make three quarters. If $100 million is true, then it needs to make $750 million. It needs to make $750 million to break even. Based on the initial ticket sales and word of mouth, Snow White may have trouble getting to 300 or 400 million globally, well short of the box office safety net of 500 million or more. Several rival studio execs and box office pundits tell THR, considering 2019's Dumbo, which debuted at 45 million and topped out at 353 million against a $170 million budget. Disney supporters would say if anyone is capable of pulling off a fairy tale ending, it's them. We're all going to point to Lion King, Mufasa. The big difference, though, is that those two films weren't dogged by underwhelming reviews and so-called so-so exit scores. Snow White is the rare Disney live-action remake that earned a B cinema score. Almost every other one had an A. Snow White also had to contend with terrible headlines. Data shows the average moviegoer may be paying far less attention to the political dynamics than social media and news headlines would suggest. And I agree with that, actually. I actually agree with that. I just don't think everybody is going to be, as terminally online as we are. This says Snow White has brutal box office, fails to meet expectations despite huge budget. I want to go to X because Snow White is still trending on X, and there's two reasons why. There are two Rachel Zegler clips that are going viral. This one, first of all, Community notes violations. This is why Snow White failed.
I'm a narcissist. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Okay.
There is a...
Rachel Zegler. People will wait in line despite my flaws. Welcome back to reality, princess. Snow White was a complete flop. This is another video going viral.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many
She's
of
gonna
them,
cry. Oh my God.
that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
They won't. How about this? Again, all of this coming out in the last 2 or 3 days. Disney hired literally the most insufferable person
No
alive.
longer 1937.
I want to actually show you this other video that absolutely humiliates. I don't know. I want to give Al Berry Comedy at TikTok put this out.
Rachel Zegler, thanks for coming on my show. I sold out years ago and I'm a coward. So you recently starred in the movie Snow White. Tell me, what was it like to play Snow Latina?
First of all, Stephen, it was weird. But I did enjoy reimagining the character as a woke Colombian woman who looks like a fish.
Well, I sold out years ago and I'm a coward. Are you surprised that everyone hates
Wow, they sound exactly like the voice actors from South Park.
the movie?
Not at all. Society is far too racist and misogynist to appreciate the reimagining of a classic Disney princess as an ugly Colombian chick.
I sold out years ago and I'm a coward. You don't think making the movie a woke piece of garbage has anything to do with people hating it?
Not really. The original story had Snow White falling in love with a prince, but in the remake that's super weird and makes no sense.
Yes.
What kind of prince would fall for a woke Colombian woman who looks like a fish?
True.
Wow. I sold out years ago and I'm a coward.
Thanks, Stephen.
I mean, the fact that we've reached this level of memery now, this level of just people absolutely dunking on Snow White and its disastrous, launch, brings me great joy. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll go to coffeebrandcoffee.com/rumble to pick up one of these bundle pre-orders, promo code rumble to save, or you can pick up some tea or real cacao cocoa and help us move into this new building and really take things to the next level in 2025. Really, really do appreciate you.